Hey everybody, it is Professor Hatch. I am here to talk about the rhetorical analysis outline. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to look at that assignment real quick. Okay, here we go. So this is, let's actually go over here. This is the assignment. Um, and I'm just assuming at this point that you've already read uh, the basic essay structure page. If you go to, let's actually go to the modules section real quick. Um, week one, I asked you to read the basic essay structure page, look at the videos on the structured writing from an outline page, and then take the essay structure quiz. I'm very much hoping that you've done that. In any case, uh, actually, let's just go. Oh, here, I did open it. Yay, me. So this is a complete outline for a 1,000-word essay, 5-paragraph essay, just like you're used to from high school, or for those of you who are coming back after a few years, just like you might remember from high school. 5 paragraphs. You've got an intro, a conclusion, and 3 body paragraphs in between. And that's as much as I'm going to talk about. But because you, again, you hopefully have already read this. But going back to this, you can see the difference between this outline and the outline I'm asking you to turn in. I don't need, first of all, you'll notice there's no conclusion. I don't need you to worry about the conclusion for your outline. For the intro, I'm not asking you to do the whole intro, just have the thesis statement. And then for the body paragraphs, you'll notice these all have 5. Well, the final body paragraph before the conclusion never needs a transition, but most body paragraphs are going to have 5 elements. And for this assignment, I'm not asking you for any analysis because, in my opinion, analysis is actually the hardest part of writing an essay. Using this outline method, which I really hope you do, it's as close to, like, I don't know, plugging things into a formula as you can get writing an essay. Um, okay, so this is what you're being asked to write. So I'm going to go back over to my rhetorical analysis outline example, which, by the way, I just downloaded this from the student outline template here, and now I'm going to tweak it a little bit. I'm not going to this because this is the first writing assignment. I'm going to be a little longer in this one video. I apologize for that. But let's get rid of the things that we don't need. So we don't need the first 2 items of the intro. We only need the thesis statement. This is an example of a body paragraph with 2 pieces of evidence. You don't need to do that for this essay. You might for a research paper. So I'm getting rid of these 3 things. Also, none of your body paragraphs need analysis, so get rid of those. And analysis, get rid of that. And then, as I mentioned, you don't need anything at all for the conclusion. So this then is what you're going to be filling in, which is half the essay-ish. So, and it's not, it's honestly not that much. So because this is this essay, if you recall from the prompt, I'm asking you to identify, to read James Baldwin's Notes of a Native Son, identify his audience, identify what his main point is, and then identify 3 claims that he makes. So, and then we'll talk about that in more detail. But let's start with just this isn't anything that's going to go into the essay itself, but I like to label each body paragraph for what they are going to do. So we're going to talk about the first claim in the first body paragraph, claim 2, and unsurprisingly, claim 3. Turn my caps lock off. So let's just start with a topic sentence here. So, and by the way, I'm not going to make you watch a video of me trying to find the exact quote. I'm just going to do my best from memory. Obviously, when you're writing this, you'll want to use the exact quote and you'll want to put a page number where you found it in the citation. In any case, so I don't start writing the intro paragraph for any essay I write. And I was writing essays as a student as recently as 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Um, I was in a doctoral program, and then whatever. There's no need to talk about my personal history. So, first topic sentence. um, one of the claims made by Baldwin is that, oh gosh, okay, um, all of the chaos and nonsense that constantly, I don't need to be poetic, that go hand in hand with racism uh, is irrelevant. So that's my topic sentence. Is it a great topic sentence? Probably not. Whatever. It works. Again, the final draft needs to be good. The rough draft can be shitty. The outline can be absolutely suck. It does not matter. You just want to get the job done. So, what is the job? To identify one of the claims that Baldwin is making. And then I'm going to go on to the next thing here. I literally do topic sentences first for all three body paragraphs. So, second body paragraph. Another claim made by Baldwin is that, oh gosh, um, part of living as a Black person in I don't know, 1930s US, in the 1930s US, is feeling the constant pressure of, I don't know, white people. That could be a lot better. And then let's see, claim three. Um, Finally, you can see, by the way, how I'm using these transition words, like one claim and then another claim, and then for this last body paragraph, finally, Baldwin claims that the hatred people carry in their hearts can cost them their actual lives. I'm not going to find quotes for all of these. In fact, I'm not going to find quotes for more than one of these. But what I am going to do now is give you some context. What is context? Context is basically setting up the quote. So let's go back to body paragraph one here. One of the claims made by Baldwin is that all of the chaos and nonsense that go hand in hand with racism is irrelevant. So a little context, setting up the quote. Um, it's not that the chaos and nonsense uh, are unimportant, uh, semicolon. It's that they pale in comparison to the actual human, oh my God, the actual UMAN, the actual human cost of racism. And then I'm going to do my quote, which I'm going to paraphrase, but I'm going to treat it like it's a quote because I want to show you how to format a quote and a citation. Um, every Black person knows what it is to live with the weight of white people in the world. Now, you don't put a period here because you still have to cite it. So, literally, end quote, space, parentheses, period. The period goes after the parentheses, and in the parentheses is the citation. Baldwin, space, I'm just going to say 599. I have no idea what page that quote is from. but you get the idea. So there you have it, my quote with a perfectly cited or perfectly formatted citation. Um, Now, the last thing I need for this body paragraph, for this part of the outline, is a transition. A transition literally just eases the reader into the next idea that you're going to be talking about. So if you look at the topic sentence from body paragraph 1, it's saying that the chaos and nonsense are unimportant. And then in the second body paragraph, the topic sentence is saying that Baldwin, am I actually, am I making the same point? I think I am. I'll fix that. Uh, for the time being, bear with me here. Um, I'm just gonna, I think I actually am making the same point. Wow. Yeah, it's 10:40 at night. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Baldwin claims, um, another point Baldwin makes is that the hatred people carry in their hearts can cost them their own, cost them their actual lives. Um, and then you know what I'm going to do for here? It doesn't matter. I'm not going to be developing that paragraph anyway. So one of the claims made by Baldwin is that all the chaos and nonsense that go hand in hand with racism is irrelevant. And then in the next paragraph, we're going to be talking about how the hatred people carry in their hearts can cost them their actual lives. Um, so, well, Baldwin stresses, uh, I don't know, the human cost of people on the receiving end of racism. He also acknowledges that the person who carries hate in their heart, uh, as I'm screwing this all up, on the receiving end of racism, he also acknowledges that uh, the hate some people carry in their hearts can harm them as well. There we go. Yeah, that was like pulling teeth. Okay, so while Baldwin stresses the human cost of people on the receiving end of racism, he also acknowledges that the hate some people carry in their hearts can harm them as well. And then another point Baldwin makes is that the hatred people carry in their hearts can cost them their actual lives. Now, that's a little clunky, but again, this is a shitty outline that we're making in preparation of making a shitty rough draft. It does not matter that it's clunky right now. So I'm sticking with that. And then that's basically what you need to do. I mean, so let's go actually a bit further just because this is the first writing assignment. Again, what is being asked of each body paragraph? I'm asking you to identify a claim that Baldwin makes in his essay. I'm asking to identify whether or not it uses ethos, pathos, or logos. Um, and then I am asking you to say whether or not that strengthens or weakens the overall argument. So I'm just going to actually go and put the analysis part just for this first body paragraph. Um, and I'm going to do this in red because it does not need to be done. You do not need, in fact, okay. You do not need to include analysis in your outline. This is just an example of what the analysis is supposed to be doing in this essay. All right. So with this quote, Baldwin is suggesting that the mere act of living as a black man in 1930s America uh, carries a significant weight. I don't like weight. Amount of stress um, from, I'm just going to say, the oppressors. So, meaning white people, obviously. Um, a significant amount of stress coming from the oppressors. Baldwin is using ethos in this claim. He doesn't appeal to the reader's logic or emotions, but to his credibility, to his own credibility. I don't even know where I misspelled this word. This is why spell check rules. But to his own credibility um, as a member of the African American community at this point in our history. Given his central thesis that racism sucks, this quote is strengthening his argument. Okay. Took me a little longer to do that one. You need 3 sentences minimum of analysis after every piece of evidence. A lot of people like to go heavy on evidence and light on analysis, and that will get your grade screwed up. Give one piece of evidence and then analyze it. If you don't have 3 sentences of analysis, or if you don't have 3 sentences worth of things to say about a particular quote, you're using the wrong quote. Or maybe you're just not sure how you should be using that quote. That's always a possibility. In any case, so this is him using ethos. In this next, well, Baldwin stresses the human cost of blah, blah, blah. In the next one, he's talking about how hatred can actually kill the person who hates. And I would argue he's talking about a scene in the book where he almost gets killed by a mob, but his friend saves him. So he, in that one, he's talking about logos, okay? So let's pretend for a moment that for the third body paragraph, I'm using a claim he makes where he's also using logos, right? So now that we know that we're talking about ethos, logos, and logos in the 3 body paragraphs, we can actually build our thesis statement. And I know this is our thesis statement, which is supposed to come at the end of the intro, but yes, I'm writing it last. Because now that we've written an outline for all 3 body paragraphs, we know exactly what the thesis statement needs to say. So for this example, in his capital IN, in his essay, Notes of a Native Son, essay and chapter titles are in quotes. James Baldwin makes several claims in support of his argument that racism sucks. And in doing so, he, makes several claims in support of his argument that racism sucks, and he does so with the aid of ethos and logos. There you go. Again, not the greatest thesis statement, but who cares? It's supposed to be a suck outline for a shitty rough draft. So there you go. This is everything you need to do. I'm obviously not going to make a video. This has got to be at 20, 25 minutes. I'm not going to do all of this for the second and third body paragraphs. That's for you to do. But you can watch this video. You can look at this example. A link to this document will be on the outline assignment page. And you can extrapolate what to do with the other body paragraphs from there. And again, this part in red, just an example of the kind of work the analysis should be doing. All right. Good Lord, this has gone on too long. I apologize. I'm going to stop now, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.